How do dreamers, thought leaders, paradigm shifters change the world? They have to ask themselves this one question: am I willing to chase my dreams? If you want to know how to push the boundaries of your influence, impact the world, and live out your God-given dreams, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Passion and Prestige podcast. I am your host, world changer, dream chaser, and all-around nice guy, Teron Nolan. I am here today with a special guest, the award-winning, most viewed realtor in 2022, entrepreneur, artist, brand builder, does it all, David Cereceres. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm really blessed, man. All praise to the Most High. That's all I got to say with that. But thank you, Teron, for having me up on here. I'm still trying to get my checks. You know, I'm most viewed, so where's my checks at? No, but I don't know how that happened. I don't know. Algorithm must be off. I don't know. Out of how many people. So I don't know how that's going on.
Hey, you've been putting in hard work. That's awesome, man. So I want to make sure, did I say your last name correct?
Yes, we could go, but I try to teach people it's Cereceres.
Cereceres.
Yeah.
There we go. I was practicing all day, like trying to nail it just right. Before we get started, I wanted to play a game. So this is a new segment we're trying out on the show. It's called This, That, and Why. And the rules are very simple. I'm going to ask you a question, and you choose the one that you like, and then just explain why you like it, why you chose that option. Cool with that?
I'll try to play along, you know?
All right, man. Here we go. So we'll start easy on the first one, okay? The game of life or the game of Monopoly?
Oh, man. Those are both good, but
it's tough.
We talking about board games. We talking about board games.
You know we're talking about board games.
Oh man, tell me why there's a book called The Game of Life, and I'm over here going way deep off that. I'm like, The Game of Life. Oh wait, that's actually a board game. So let me rewind that. Game of Monopoly. So Monopoly, that's my thing. If you come sit down at our table and we have a game night, it's mandatory. We all play Monopoly.
Ooh, I
like a rite of passage. My mind went way off, like The Game of Life. That's deep.
I like it though. You know, Monopoly, man, I am banned from playing Monopoly in my home because when we play Monopoly, it always goes personal. Like, I get super cutthroat, man. I'm like, look, you want Boardwalk? That's going to be 5 stacks of Monopoly money. You got to go fill up my car with full tank of gas and give me some Skittles. And then I'll get, like, it always goes personal. I am not allowed to play Monopoly. Would you rather own real estate in Miami or New York?
Dang.
It's tough.
That is. I haven't been to one of those, but I'm a skinny dude and I don't like the cold. So I have to go to Miami.
Man, I am right there with you. Snow and all that is not for me.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Ties or bow ties?
Oh man, you know what? You see me with the bow tie? No, I never thought that would be my thing, but I slapped it on, and it's funny how that picture went.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna wear a different bow tie that I had bought, and it was like a baby blue, light blue one. I got it from Ross. I like to collect a little stuff here and there, and I'm like, I'm gonna slap this one on today for the pictures. I put that thing around my neck. I was like, this for a little 15, 14-year-old for the quince and stuff. I was like, oh, damn, I done messed up. So I had the red one, and I slapped on the red one, and the rest is history.
Looking fly. I always wanted to ask you, how did that come about? Because you're right. That's kind of your thing now. The realtor with the bow tie. And I'm like, that's pretty dope, man.
Man, honestly, I don't know. I guess you see some things in life, like some people, and it's like, that's pretty fly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think I'm gonna try that out. And it's like, man, I don't know when that image in my head came about or why I started getting bow ties in the first place. It all started with one bow tie, actually. I just decided um, it was someone's wedding, my lady's cousin's wedding, and I was like, I like this. It was a little paisley colored
Okay.
bow tie. It was like dark blue with some gold and stuff. I was like, that's pretty fresh. Let me slap that on real quick. And so it wasn't always like, oh, I'm gonna wear a bow tie. I just felt like doing it, and I think it was more like I like the I guess is I don't know if it's a Great Gatsby era,
Yeah, yeah,
the Roaring Twenties or something like
yeah.
that, where they
I
had
got you.
the bow ties and the to me they're Kangos.
Yeah. Is that the fedoras? That
Yeah,
time?
well, it was more like the Englishmen. Like I guess
Gotcha.
to me they were called Kangos,
Yeah.
Kangos. So that like that's that type of style. So I was like, I was more with that, and I'm like, you know what? I like that era. Give it a little new flow down today, and
Yeah.
that's just sorry,
That's
man. I'll start going off on tangents.
no, I'm the same way. I just ordered some old style hats, and I don't know the exact name for them, but I'm like, man, that is dope. Like I love that. Give me some suspenders. If I could dress back in that time with some sneakers on now and kind of mix the two, I'm totally down with that. I'm
You
trying to
pull it off,
I'm
do
trying.
it.
I'm trying to work up the confidence to be able to do it, man.
Ah man, I say just do it. You'll grow into it. Don't let the clothes wear you. You wear the clothes.
My man, I
So
like it. I like it. Well, hey, David, dude, you are an amazing guy. I mean, you are
thank
a
you.
phenomenal realtor. You're active in the community with community cleanup days. You recently helped collect outfits and accessories for kids who couldn't afford clothing for prom. You're killing it in the realtor game. But beyond all that, you have an amazing story. And I wanted to know if you would be willing to share your story. What got you into real estate? Why you do it? Just the things you've learned from your journey in that.
Man, I could go deep to the base of the trunk, even to the roots of where my life started. And
Let's do it.
I don't know if people, it'll probably take like 27 years.
It's all right. We can do part twos,
But
part threes.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
first and foremost. I introduced myself as a realtor to people, as part of my business. Like, oh, I'm a realtor. But when they come back and ask me, like, so you're a realtor? I'm like, well, I'm an entrepreneur first and foremost.
Right.
But still a realtor. That's my current title right now, and I want to do the best with that and just help out with that. But man, there's just so much that has led me up to this point, and like I said, I want to keep it on topic. So I always had that entrepreneur spirit. If not, then it's just always been raised into me. My dad, he was a huge influence on that entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah.
So,
How so?
you
Tell
know,
me tell me more about that.
oh man, my dad was a hustler, good with the mouthpiece. So,
Gotcha.
he always did his stuff to survive, and so we didn't grow up with the best of things, but we got by.
Yeah.
My mom, she always worked. Even on a bad day, she still went to work. Sometimes it gets to a point to where my dad was always hard on us, so he didn't really like. I mean, I'm not gonna blame too much, but it wasn't always fun.
Mm.
So as a kid, it's like it's hard. It's easy to get pushed out of things when the force is on you or
Y-
something. Like
Gotcha. Gotcha.
it doesn't become fun. You don't realize what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's like, man, I don't want to do none of this. Like it's like now we got to do it. It's like as a kid, you're not really understanding why you have to do it. It's like
Right.
you're doing it. Your dad's on you, and I remember one time me and my brother had to ride our bike to Food Max on the west side, and we were like just right there, had our two bikes, and I told my brother, I'm like, man, I'm gonna go over here and watch the bikes. Because I was quiet and timid, like, like I didn't really want to put myself out there. I didn't care to, like I worried. I'm like, man, what if I see my friends out here or someone I know? Like, everybody knows someone.
So, but then how did you become a realtor? Because I mean, it seems like you got to really put yourself out there.
Ah, man, you just start building upon that. Um, no shame in the game. But that's how I always see my dad. It was like there's no shame in the game. You got to get it how you get it. But then I started experiencing some shame, and it's like, yeah, there's probably like it's good to have shame to experience shame because then you know what it is. There's some things that you shouldn't do to get the money. So, but like I said, what brings me on to no shame in the game was at some point, well, we started moving around out of the west side and stuff, and we lived shortly in these fourplexes off of Shaw and Marks. And my brothers came home. I guess they were walking around like the Smart and Final or something, like just walking back there, coming from wherever they were coming from. My little brother Isaiah and Ray, and they come home and they tell my dad, "Oh, like Dad, they're over there throwing stuff out. Like it looks like it's good up in the trash cans."
Huh.
And so my dad's like, "What? Go get it." They come back home with like 50, 60, 70, $80 briskets and everything. And I'm like, "What the?"
Oh, man.
So that's when my dad, like I said, my dad always been doing his stuff, doing his thing, getting money however he can, whatnot. So he goes and he begins his dumpster diving
Mm-hmm.
adventures.
Okay.
And so he would bring us along and we have to be dumpster diving. And
Yeah.
so I was already about 16, 17 by then, so I was even more like, damn, like I do not want to do that. Like, man. But
And was
you
this
start
more
to
for
see.
was it more for survival because you guys needed it, or was it, hey, we're gonna make money doing this, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Um, you, we had a big family. So it was me, I'm the oldest, my brother Isaiah, who's 2 years younger, my brother Ray, who's 4 years younger, my brother Alex, who's about 9, 10 years younger, and then I have Jaden, my brother Jaden, and my brother Alyssa, who was significantly younger. So when I was in high school, Jaden was born my freshman year, and Alyssa was born my sophomore year.
Okay.
So, you know, if it would shout out to my aunt. If it wasn't for my aunt, I probably would have went to freshman year with no new shoes on. So it was kind of rough. My mom worked daycare. Working for like kids care and stuff. My dad did his thing, but we were all boys, and it was just different things. Different things were going on, and that's on a deeper scale. Don't want to
Right.
talk about too much about
Right.
that.
Do you use a lot of those earlier experiences as motivation nowadays to, like you said, go out and get it, find a way?
Yeah,
Because what I hear is, man, your dad really instilled in you, like, you're not waiting for somebody to give you a handout. You're not waiting for somebody to open a door. You go and you figure it out. And I think that's really, really awesome. I'm sure it was tough lessons, but I can see that in you now, where you have that,
hmm
like, nah, I'm gonna make my own path. I'm gonna find my own way. Of course, I need others' help, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing this because that's what my dad instilled in me.
yeah. Regardless of the help or not, gotta get up, go out, and go get it.
Yeah.
Regardless of the help. So that's I say I learned over time I'm highly self-sufficient. You know, uh, I may ask for some help here and there, but sometimes the road won't give you that help. So it just made me who I am. Sometimes I ask God like, why am I not getting this help? I'm there at a click of a finger. Why can't I get it?
Hmm.
But it it just yeah, like why should I? You put more into that boss leader mentality, or maybe that's why life is giving it to you that way because you got to do some leader boss stuff. You got to be self-sufficient, and that's just how it is. So I use a lot, like uh regards to the dumpster diving, man. when I was, for a little bit, if it wasn't for my friends and his sister for giving me a place to stay when I was a little bit homeless, I went out and went to go dumpster dive. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm working part time. I got a car payment, and so I'm like, I'm not going to lose my car. I
Mm-hmm.
worked hard for that. I'm not gonna lose it. So I went to go dumpster dive. Came up on a cat on a little cat stand. It was missing some pieces, but went to Harbor Freight, found invested in some nuts and bolts, and put that thing together and put it up on Craigslist, and I made $50 off of it. So like there's money to get, but it's I mean that's just one of my things is like, yeah, I use everything. I was soaking up game, not like a sponge, but like a chamois. So it's in my microfibers.
I like that, man. That's that's it, man. That is it. I like I said, I see that in you.
Yeah,
You're a young cat, man. I don't know how old are you, if you don't mind me asking.
I just turned 27.
You're making it work. You're finding ways. This is what I really, really appreciate about you, David. I've been following you on Instagram, man, and seeing a little bit of your journey. And the thing that stood out to me most was you you're changing the game. And I believe that you know this. You're changing the game. And what I mean by that is you're a realtor, but dude, you have your own brand. You have your own logo. As a teacher, and this is really what did it. As a teacher, man, you made these care packages for each one of the teachers at
Yeah,
Robinson. And you came and you gave it, you put it in our mailbox and it had a bunch of treats and just things that we needed. It had your business card and then it had a sticker of your logo. And I was blown away by that because I'm like, I have never seen a realtor do that. You know,
yeah,
you're taking it to the whole nother level because you're like, this isn't just a job, man. I'm creating something that's different that makes me stand out than everyone else. The bow tie, it makes you stand out. And I think that speaks to your like fighter mentality of like, hey, I'm gonna make a way. I'm going to
yeah,
find a way. I love that.
yeah, man. Like I'm gonna find a way for a little bit it was my dad always said the slogan, "Get in where you fit in." But then he started saying, "Get in where you stand out." And it's like, man, I'm just trying to be me. Like
That's good.
I'll get in where I fit in. But for a little bit, it's like I wasn't fitting in nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always had that loner type of deal with me. I didn't have very many friends. I had a couple friends, and when they were gone out of school and stuff, or it's like it was just me. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm used to being alone, and you know what? Let me just stand out a little bit. I'll make it stand out more. I mean, shoot, regardless, I'm tall as hell. So sorry if I
No, it's all right.
no, but man, like it leads life leads you into one after one step over the other.
Yeah.
So the stuff that I learned was stuff that I've been learning over life and just looking at it when it comes to brands, like man, there's some huge influences on my life when it comes to the dogs first and foremost,
Mm-hmm.
and where I learned the marketing behind with the dog shows and just owning them within the American Bully community.
Okay.
So yeah, and entrepreneurs, like E40, Master P. It's just with those guys like Grant Cardone and all those entrepreneurs. It's like I can't really relate to them like that. Like,
Gotcha.
like I feel like there's always something missing that they're not talking about because
Hmm.
it's not just hard work all the time.
Yeah. Man, unpack that. That's really good. Can you tell me more?
Well, we all got different opportunities and we're all born with different things. We all go through different stuff in life. Um, and I don't know, like I feel there's just well, let's just put it like this. There's some stuff in this world that I can't really sit there and rationalize, you know? So with that being said is all praise to God
Yeah.
for where I'm at.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity from, man, I'm just give it to you straight. So when I was younger, I was about 2 to 3 years old, and this is like when I started coming into consciousness with my life. I'm sitting there listening to a conversation about my parents, my dad telling another person like, "Oh, can you put your dog up? Oh,
Hmm.
they don't bite. The dog don't bite." So, so I was in the backyard. I see two horses. My The adults are off to my right, and there's this blue, baby blue truck, probably like in the 50s type of deal, it looks like. And I'm walking up to these horses. I've never seen horses in my life. I didn't even know they were called horses.
Wow.
Didn't know what they were. But all I remember was I was about to go up and pet them. I was reaching out my hand or whatever. Everything went black. I hear, call 911 and this and that, I'm
Whoa.
telling my dad, I hear my dad saying, Phyllis, call 911. They're not going to call. She must have been in shock or whatever, but, I'm still blacked out. I'm waking up. I see blood on my dad's shirt. Um, I'm blacking out, and I see like visions of like this dog chasing after the ambulance.
Huh.
Turns out I was attacked by the pit bull, black and white pit bull. So it got me on the left side of my face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So along with that, came up with a whole host of curses, but some blessings as well. So you know, let me just jump. So later on in life, I'm about 15, 16, and I'm telling my mom how I want to get a job. I want to start working. And then she brought up like SSI and this and that, like because I guess I'm getting like some government checks off my eye or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm considered legally blind in that moment.
Wow.
So I'm like, why would they do that? She's telling me about it, and they're letting me know about what I got coming. I got a settlement coming when I turn 21. So that didn't change anything. It's like it wasn't real to me. It's not real until it's there. So this is for like that's why I say there's stuff that's lying behind the scenes that people don't know about. So it's not completely like how do I say, like, it's not just sheer hard work that I got this from.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got this was the opportunity that I had to make something out of what I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're growing up in this situation, I heard many stories about how people had it and now don't have it. I didn't want to be one of those stories where, yeah, I used to have this, now I don't have nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I knew I had to do something.
That's that's something that drives me insane. Is this whole idea of like a self-made man where I did it my own self, no one helped me. And I'm like, that's not true. You know, there are opportunities that are presented. God opens doors, people step in. Yeah, we have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears, but if it wasn't for certain doors that were open, man, we wouldn't be where we're at. So,
I just wanted to make that a point because I heard plenty of rumors about me. It always gets around like some people think I come from a wealthy family or I did some stuff to get to this point.
gotcha,
But
gotcha.
nah, man, like I try to keep it honest with people, and honestly, I I'm not really public about it because I don't like people knowing what I do have or what I it just I'm a quiet dude. I
Yeah.
don't care if I can make money with in silence with no one knowing me, I'll do it.
Yeah. I feel you, man.
But this knowing that is what led me to being to where it's like, okay, I gotta do something with my life now. I can't just mess it all up. After all, this is my life right here. This is my eye, like
Mhm.
I had plenty of self-esteem issues with it. I was very self-conscious.
Mm,
Shoot, it messed up a whole lot, you
yeah.
know? I sometimes I imagine, man, what if I had my eye and my stuff? Well, what type of person I would be.
Wow. So your eye is still affected by that bite that happened when you were 3 years old?
Man, I'm still feeling stuff with it. Like I can't read books that long. It starts straining.
Yeah.
So it's there's some stuff that's they call it floaters.
Yep.
So it's like it messes with my vision. It crosses through every now and then. It's just there's stuff that goes on, but I try to make it the best.
Wow.
It just
My
so
goodness.
that's why
Again,
using my
this is why I think stories are like one of the most powerful things in the world, because when someone is able to share their story, other people, they get a whole new view, you know? Like you sharing stories may help other people who are like, wow, you know what, man, he went through crazy adversity. That means I can make it, even though I've been through difficult situations. Um, I love that, man. Thank you for this time of sharing your story, because I truly believe God's going to use it to help a lot of people, man.
yeah, man. Like what was I about to say? It's going to sound choppy right now. Like sometimes it sounds like I skip. People because there's a lot that
Mm,
leads up. Like this is just a little bit, and
yeah.
bringing that to the front, with what happened, is kind of like I don't share that with too many people. There's a handful of people in this world that I share that with, but I figured my story is way better than what is being said or
Hmm.
what will be said.
Yeah.
So, with that is I always wanted to be just moving forward and progressing. So when I learned about that, I started moving more differently.
Mm,
It wasn't going to be about the money
hmm.
because I seen a lot of stuff mess up about the money.
Right.
So, I know my life was affected by it even before I knew about it. You know, uh, Sometimes family treats you differently.
Yeah.
Like I was always, maybe they did see something special in me. I don't know. Sometimes I felt like why am I being treated a different way than from my brothers?
Hmm.
Or, like, so it never really, I never really understood it until I heard about that. So I started moving a little bit differently and just realizing, okay, I got a serious opportunity here when I turn a certain age and I got to be sharp on my corners.
Yeah.
But it ain't real. It's not real for me at that time.
Right.
It's just a just in case if I make it to that point in life.
Wow. My goodness, man. So you've made it to that point, and like you said, you're not wasting this opportunity, and you are going after it. You know, I mean, like I said, I watch you on Instagram, and I just see a snippet, man. But talking to you, I'm getting more of the picture. And like I said, I love how you are thinking different. You're like, you realize the blessing that you have, and you're like, I'm gonna make this the best I can. And something you said that really resonated with me is you're not doing it for the money and you're not doing it for fame. You know, what is your motivation? Because I think when some people hear that, they may be like, well, then why are you doing it? So what's your why?
My motivation is to be a righteous man.
Nice. I like it.
Like
Yes.
everything else comes along with it.
Right.
Like once I started making the clear decision, like I want to be more righteous. You know, when I first heard "Follow the Straight and Narrow Path," I was like, "Oh, damn, nah, man, I'm cut. I can't do that."
I'm good.
No, but like I like words. I like words more than I like numbers.
Mm,
So when I heard the word righteousness or the righteous man, I was like, I need to follow something like that. I need to be something like that.
yeah.
And once you know, you start making that conscious decision, you start doing righteous things,
Hmm.
or the righteous opportunities start coming. So, my motivation is I want to do right on this earth,
Yeah.
and so that when I'm standing right there by those gates of heaven and Jesus is reading out my book, I want him to find good in my soul.
That well done, my good and faithful servant. I like it, man. Yeah, that's it. That's the biggest thing for me is it's exactly the same. I just want to help people. I realize that my life is a gift and I want to use it to help others, you know? And I mean that's why we're doing this podcast. I believe that whatever platform God gives me, whether it's small or whether it's large, I'm going to use it to glorify him, help people, you know? Because at the end of the day, all that other stuff really doesn't matter. I love it, man. David, you're a wise dude. I can't believe you're 27 years old. That is blowing my mind.
I can't believe it, but then I could believe it. Because, like I'm here now and I just take it, like there's sometimes I see myself being an old man. There's sometimes I don't see myself being an old man,
Hmm.
so it's like, I don't know, just gotta take it as it comes.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, man, I really appreciate you reaching out and inviting me onto your podcast.
absolutely.
When Airly had told me about it, when she was talking to your wife, I guess she had used the word dreamers,
Yes.
like and so that's what sparked the conversation that, oh yeah, her husband has this podcast and stuff. You should listen to it. And I listen, but then I get to moving, and then I don't forget about it. But that's why I followed you and I started listening onto your stuff, onto your Instagram. And
Hmm.
then when you invited me on the podcast, well, prior to that, she's like, maybe you'll be on it someday because she used that word, and I'm like, maybe, huh? But it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be on there. It was like, maybe if it's God's will, it's God's will.
Yeah.
I maybe. But when you had invited me on here, that was on my birthday, and I was like,
Really?
oh boy, send me a birthday present.
That's crazy.
No, no, but I appreciate that. So it's like, wow, like I can't believe he really invited me on the podcast. Like,
Oh man, like I said, bro, I knew, man. I was like, something. I gotta get this guy on because I could just tell from your spirit, man, how you are a dreamer. You're an entrepreneur. You move different. I saw all of that in just the snapshots. How you love your community, and I'm like, my big thing is I'm trying to find my tribe. I'm trying to find others who think like me because there's been so many years where I've just walked and I just felt like completely alone. Like, man, maybe I'm the only weird one that doesn't want to just settle down in a career doing this for the rest of my life. But I got all these dreams that God keeps giving me. And I'm like, why am I the only one like that? And then it's a hard road being a dreamer, you know?
yeah,
You feel like I'm wasting time, maybe I'm being irresponsible and all this. So I just set out, I need to find my tribe. And when I came across you, man, I was like, bingo. There he is. So I appreciate, man. This is a huge honor to have you on. I am really, really honored by this. And man, I hope this will not be the last time.
nah, I mean it's as much as you want to make it too. Nah, but yeah, man, that's why I was like, I had to listen on before out of respect before I got up on here. I'm like, I need to see what he his podcast is because I hadn't listened to anything prior besides what was on the Instagram. So I was like, okay, he invited me on here, but I gotta out of respect, I gotta go listen to his stuff, and I'm like, let me just listen,
Yeah.
binge here, binge watch everything, and see what I'm working with, and because I'll talk for hours,
Hmm.
and I feel like I still ain't said enough, and then I feel bad.
Well, David, man, like I said, we could go on for hours, but I got to wrap this up. It has been an honor and a pleasure having you on here. And I got to ask you the big question. I ask everybody who's on the show, if you could be doing anything in the world and you knew that whatever you were doing, you would not fail, you would succeed, what would you do? What is your dream job?
Oh man, see, I listened to some people and they said it was this, it's this right now, but man, my dream. that's tough.
That's a
That's
tough
a
one.
tough one for me,
Yeah,
because a lot of this stuff I wouldn't have even dreamed of be doing.
that's good.
So, shoot. Oh man, I,
I
I'm
got you.
gonna need to resonate on that a little bit longer.
All right, when we
You
do
know,
part two, you got to have the answer ready.
to be honest, I don't even know what my dream would be. I sit here and I try to go over these questions. I knew it was coming,
Hmm.
but you know, my ultimate dream is to make it up into heaven, and hopefully, my family's there, and we go, all the people that I know,
Yeah,
that we keep our consciousness as to who we were down here, and be good up there. So I say that's my dream.
beautiful. Well, my brother, we are going to end this episode. And in fact, I'm going to end this episode the way I end every single episode with these powerful, powerful words. Chase your dreams until the dreams you chase become reality. Go change the world. So now that you're part of the Passion and Prestige tribe, I want to know what you think. I love hearing from my listeners. So if you wouldn't mind taking a screenshot of you listening to this podcast and tag us at Passion and Prestige on Instagram. And don't forget to go into your podcast app, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review and a 5-star rating. This helps us reach way more people. Passion and Prestige tribe, thank you so much. I will see you next week, and remember, chase your dreams until the dreams you chased become reality. Go change the world.
They just wanna knock you off the top, but I ain't gonna drop till I say so. Till I say so. 'Cause I say